Yeah, this is happening right now in France. There's an online movement. It started online, it's moved into person. It's called Block Everything. They're blocking access to everything. Go search France, Paris right now. The whole fucking country is on fire. They're burning everything simply because the Africans said no more exploitation.
Welcome back to Gist9. Something wild is happening in France right now. The French people on the streets protesting like crazy against their own government. And guess what? It all started picking up heat after Africans started saying no to France control. It's like the table is turning around. Africans told France to pack their bags and go, and now France citizens are saying the same thing to their own leaders. What do you think is really going on? Well, if today is the first time joining my channel, please kindly like, share and subscribe, and let's listen to what others have to say about this. I'll be right back.
Guys, France is on fire. France is on fire. A serious protest hit France today morning. Till this point as we are speaking, France is on a serious protest. The population has stormed the street. They are not ready to condone with Macron's incompetency anymore. They are saying enough is enough. While he moves around trying to play international politics, French citizens are going through a lot. Companies are shutting down. Life is becoming difficult. Things are going from bad to worse. And they are saying they don't want to take it anymore again from Emmanuel Macron. They are asking him to fout le camp, to dégage. That is, they want him to F off. They are tired of his policies. They are tired of his government. He has brought France to its knees. And if you see in these videos, the population is on the street. The people of France are on the street, bringing chaos in total loggerhead with the police. They are burning places. I mean, France is in a sham as we speak. And this was happening in Africa, especially in the Sahel. That is Burkina Faso, Mali, or Niger. It would have been all over their medias. They would have invited specialists to comment about that. It would have taken like 3-4 a week talking about the same protest. But it is happening in their own soil, in France. Go check BBC, go check France 24, check RFI. They are just, you see what they're doing. They are not showing the intensity. They are trying everything possible to hide it, to cover it so that the world will not see. But thank God for social media. The pictures, the videos are all over the place. The second thing I wanted to talk about this is, I don't know if our African leaders, some of them don't think. Look at France, which is on its knees, a country that cannot even manage itself. But our leaders are busy kissing their behind. What is wrong with these African presidents? They are not even leaders. I'm sorry about that. Okay? They are presidents, puppets who were forced on us. Look at someone who cannot even take care of his house. And that is the person most of you guys go to kiss their behind, go to bow down to. It is a disgrace. It is embarrassing to us African people. Wake up, African presidents. Wake up, African elites who have been enslaved to the core, and they have become puppets to a point where they cannot even think anymore. It's time to take back our continent from the hands of these people who cannot even manage themselves.
France is now ungovernable. You better believe it. France is now ungovernable. The country that actually made its money from bleeding black people. The country that forced Haiti to pay 150 billion for their freedom. And one of the reasons why Haiti is still in the situation it is right now is because of France. France, the country that bled Africa, making sure that the countries that it colonized basically had to pay a colonial tax for being colonized. That country, the country that one of the biggest slave traders in the world, that country has run out of money. They cannot afford to pay the pensions. They cannot afford the healthcare system. Literally, France is literally on the verge of economic collapse. And this is serious. France is in worse trouble than Greece was, except at the time the European Union was so powerful at the time. But now the European Union was weakened by Brexit. The European Union has been weakened by Trump turning against them. So now the European Union, they're just running around like headless chickens. They cannot even bail France out. France is literally on the verge of collapse. And coming close after France is going to be the UK and Germany.
Now, for years, France has been living off African countries, and what they were doing is that they were taking Africans' gold, uranium, oil, cocoa, and the rest. And in return, what Africans were getting was poverty, bad loans, and soldiers patrolling like what we don't know on the streets. Now France acted like the boss of West Africa, controlling their currency, policies, and even sending troops to help fight terrorists. But everyone knew they were there to protect French interests, not the people. So when the Sahel states started saying, "We've had enough of you," and they started kicking all these French troops out, it was like a wake-up call to Africans. First, Mali said bye-bye. Then Burkina Faso now followed. Then Niger now joined. These countries are now teaming up, saying no more exploitation, no more fake promises. And honestly, who can blame them? How do you expect to be free if another country is still pulling the strings behind your government? Now, the crazy part is that this resistance in Africa seems to have inspired protests in France, and that's what a lot of people are saying. People over there are angry at the leaders for wasting money and resources trying to control Africa when things are not even working well at home. I think recently they said Macron employed someone else as the prime minister or something. Imagine your own country's economy struggling, but your leaders are spending billions on foreign wars and influence. The French youths are tired. They want jobs, better salaries, and a government that listens to them, not one that plays empire building games in Africa. It's almost like karma is playing out for decades now, and France acted like they could police Africa forever, but now their own house is burning. People are on the streets shouting, blocking roads, and calling out Macron and his government. It's a mess, but it shows one thing, that the world is changing. Africans are no longer scared to stand up for themselves, and now even the French are standing up to the same system that has been squeezing everyone. This is a big lesson for Africa too. If France can have this level of protest, then African countries should keep pushing for freedom and building their own future. The Sahel states have already shown it's possible. Imagine if the rest of Africa follows. Imagine if all the countries that are using CFA franc drop it and start printing their own money. Imagine if African resources stayed in Africa. Well, France wouldn't have the power to bully anyone anymore. So yes, I can't blame Africans for saying no to France. They've suffered for too long, and now France is getting a taste of what it feels like when people finally say enough is enough. The same fire that started in the Sahel is slowly spreading, and it looks like the French people are ready to fight their own leaders, just like Africans did. Well, let's listen to what others have to say about this. But before then, if today is your first time joining my channel, please kindly like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to drop your comments.
So the French government has fallen again, but international news media is going to be very shy about telling us the real reason why it's fallen, the economic reasons why it's fallen. On his way out, the ousted Prime Minister, Mr. Francois, said, "You might kick me out, you might remove me, but that does not change the economic problems for the country." I'm paraphrasing. The real reason why France has failed as a government is because Africa has taken its power back. Ever since the country of Niger in the Sahel, in Central West Africa, decided to nationalize its uranium, France has never been the same again. This uranium that state-owned companies like Orano, French-owned companies like Orano had been siphoning, stealing under the previous government, today, Niger turned off the faucet. Niger said no more. So Niger, under the new governance of President Tiani, is nationalizing its uranium. This uranium France was stealing not only to light its beautiful cities like Paris and Nice, it was also using it to run its electrical manufacturing and industries. All of these are processing and running their nuclear reactors on top of it all. So these things that are the foundations of an economy like manufacturing and processing. Right now that the electricity in France, their energy is not safe, they do not have a reliable place to get their energy from. This is why they're suffering, but it's not going to be told that way on international news media. You're only going to hear it from people like me and others who are truth tellers. So yeah, this is why. This is what happens. This is proof that African leaders are in service of either them or us.
Guys, French government is collapsing. French government is collapsing like every given second. And the people of France are like so fucking frustrated, looking for every opportunity to vent their frustration. Because what the hell? So they had this vote of confidence. And he has to go. In fact, he has been asked to resign. He has to go. Macron has to pick another prime minister within 2 years. Now, I opened the news and I was like trying to find out, what did he do? What is it that he did that is so wrong that they have to, vote against him and ask him to resign? And this is what I got here. They said that the National Assembly voted on Monday to bring down the Barrot-led government over his plan to cut about 44 billion euros, which is 52 billion US dollars, to reduce the country's debt. This is why I say that these guys are fucking frustrated, because what is wrong by cutting down your budget to reduce your debt that is accumulating? The debt is rising like every second. These lazy motherfuckers, they just want to like party, enjoy themselves, They don't want any discomfort. Very lazy motherfuckers. They don't need discomfort. What they are telling their government is, if you know what to do for you to, sustain this our lifestyle, you go ahead and do it. You don't cut anything. Just go to any place and do it. And this is the reason why I have problem with so many of these African idiots that call themselves leader. Bashiru saw a sinking ship and there was a rescue mission. You are in a sinking ship, right? There was a rescue mission. Instead of you to jump on the boat of the rescue mission, you now say, I must sink with the ship. I must sink with, because that is the only explanation that made these idiots to go all the way to France and start begging them to come back to their country. Does it make sense? I have told us that these people are feeding on our back. All we have to do is to stand the fuck up. Once we stand up, game over. Just 3 countries in Africa, and the economy is like collapsing like no man's business. Just only 3 countries. Imagine we have 54 countries in Africa. Imagine if just half of this country do the same thing that the 3 Sahel states have done. Omohonga go finish these people. Kwashiorkor could go buy them. They will die of different illnesses. Now me, they tell you. All we have to do is rise up and game over.
Waka, I usually don't like covering politics, but the fall of France is so bizarre. Okay, it's like it's falling in slow motion. Like it is falling. 14 African countries have kicked it out, and the revolution of course started with Burkina Faso, Niger and Mali, and now the government, I think last night, has collapsed again. The second time in a year. This is the second time it has collapsed in a year, meaning they can't agree on stuff basically. So they're busy kicking people out and firing people, and there's no ministers and all that stuff. When I happen this, it's slow motion. Why is that slow motion? Quarter the minute Congo ere no more. Utlo tunya mushi.